Good morning, my people. I know it's been a while since I've been on Facebook Live. Normally I'm doing my thing, but since I'm in the house all the time and I start work pretty much at like 7 in the morning, and sometimes I don't get off till after 6:30. Yeah, once you're doing about 12 plus hour days, you're pretty much kaput. So I guess I should stop. I wanted to, since I had a doctor's appointment and I'm on my car ride, because it's about an hour commute. Oh my God. Guys, don't laugh. I literally had skin tags, frozen, and that hurts. That hurts, y'all. That hurts. But anyway, I don't have any problem telling y'all that because it's life, right? We got to deal with our health, includes our skin as well, taking care of our skin. So yeah, that burns. I mean, they do the freezing of oh my God, that burns. Anyway, I wanted to come on because over the course of and I guess this is more than just recent, over the course of a number of months, weeks, even as recent as the last couple weeks. Really, dude? You was just going to hit my car? I've come across a lot of conversations recently of people who are, dealing with a lot of hurt and anger. Not that that's not common, and has not been common for quite some time, due to everything that's going on. But there are some individuals who have communicated their anger and distrust and frustration and how they're not willing to kind of speak up and speak out and trying to change their mindset to be a beacon of hope for other people. And I know change takes a long time because it takes a lot of people to be willing to put their anger and hurt and ills from the past and so on and so forth, or what they've dealt with, and overcoming the pain and the anger and the anguish and the hurt and all the stuff that's going on in life. It's hard for them to come through that to be able to then be a beacon of hope or change for other people. Some will say, well, I can't be the change. I can't personally make an impact. Not that I want this to be cliche, but it is. If you think about all the things that happen in life, it takes minimally one person to start. And that continues to open up to other people. So it's like a lake, it's like an ocean, the ripple effect, right? So, you throw a stone in the lake and it does all these, then it all of a sudden becomes ripples that, spread throughout the whole lake. Think of waves in the ocean. You have one wave, one small wave, and all of a sudden you've got these big waves hitting you as you get to pretty much the sand, right? Or, to the, I can't even think right now. So, I'm saying this to say is that I understand, I can sympathize, I can empathize with individuals who are going through a lot of stuff. Hell, I'm going through some stuff. But at the same token, we have to figure out a way to come through this darkness, the harbored, ill, angry feelings that we are harboring. Because if we want change, we have to be change, right? We have to turn our mindset to not just what's going on, but how we can get through it. What do we do to change things? Like, what are the ideas, the thoughts, the process that we have to go through to ensure change takes place? And yes, it can take one individual who, again, you're talking to others, you're explaining the situation, you're talking about how you come through it. It's a mindset, it's a culture, it's so much, but you have to be willing to open yourself up. We had just recently an individual talking about how they hate a certain group of people, for lack of a better word or lack of a better phrase. And I'm talking about their profession, okay? Not talking about the individual itself, but a profession. Look, guys, girls, if we are going to truly be the change we want to see in this world, we're going to have to stop hating on each other. We're going to have to stop being so angry, so caught up in this anger and hurt and so on and so forth, that we can't figure out how we get through that to heal and to be able to heal others. So, and if you're not willing to do that, and if it's not your time, I get it, but please do not start throwing that on other people, that they have to feel some kind of way about a situation because you're not ready to be that change. You're not ready to dispel the rumors. You're not ready to overcome and heal and want to be that change. This is the problem that we have, is that we can't even get along to get along. You know what I'm saying? And we're constantly judging and tagging people and talking about individuals that you don't even personally know, to understand what they themselves are going through or what they themselves are dealing with. And, we're so caught up in our own personal feelings that we're not looking at things holistically. And that's the problem. We got to be looking at this holistically so that we can all work together to overcome, to heal together, to be a beacon of hope for others who are struggling and who want to see change, but they don't know how to get through the walls that they have put up. It's just, it's sad, because I've noticed people have this mentality of keeping that wall up, and they don't want to, budge. And to me, someone who is not willing to budge is not ready to be the change that they want to see in the world. You can't talk about wanting change and then you put a wall up and you yourself don't want to be that change. That's going against what you're trying to do or what you're trying to see in the world. You can't do that. You can't be both. You can't have a wall up and be angry and telling people, how angry you are and how you can't deal with certain individuals because, you just don't want to, because you're judging them, because you are tagging them, or whatever have you. And then all of a sudden you're talking about trying to be change. You can't be change if you don't want to be the change. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. You can't talk outside both sides of your mouth. You can't do that. So I say this to say, if you are harboring ill feelings towards a group, towards a person, towards a status, towards a profession, someone who is in a particular profession or whatever have you, if you feel that you got to be so angry that you put a wall up and you don't even want to have a sit down conversation as to the reason why you're feeling that way, because the only way we're going to overcome and heal is talking, communicating. That's the problem. We don't communicate well. We do not communicate well. We don't give each other an opportunity to open up and have differing opinions, or to sit down and say, okay, well, why do you feel this way? Or why do you feel this way? Forget about judging individuals. The question is why? Why do we feel the way we feel? And if you open up and have a conversation about that, you'll be shocked to hear the things that you hear about one another. And that's the thing. We have to have open lines of communication. We have to be open to hearing each other. Because if we're not willing to be open to hearing one another as to the reason why we feel the way we feel, we're never going to be able to sit down and talk about solutions to the problem. You can't talk about a solution if you don't know what the problem is, if you yourself can't figure out what the problem is. You can't have a solution without the problem. You can't be a change if you don't want to change. You can't have a conversation about change if you don't even want to open up about the issues that you're dealing with. If you don't want to heal, you can't heal others. If you don't want to talk, then you're not going to get feedback, right? So it's okay to have differing opinions. It's okay to feel a certain way. But if we don't open up the lines of communication and have a discussion around what we're dealing with and how we can then come to the solutions that are needed to take place for us to all become one and united, we're never going to get there. Now, once again, I say this to say, good morning, everyone. I say this to say because I've heard it. I've encountered it as of recent, how people have these walls up that are not willing to be changed, but yet want to be involved in the change. You can't be involved in a change that you don't even agree with. You don't even agree with having a conversation with an individual that, you see as a threat to you. You can't do that. You can't do that. You have to sit down and have that conversation and have some integrity. And don't sit there and talk about them, but yet you don't want to have a conversation with them. How does that work? How do we start changing things and how do we start evolving as humans if we don't allow ourselves an opportunity to open up and have those conversations and that dialogue that we're so afraid to talk about? I say this because a week ago, with the Chauvin case, and I hate to bring that up because it still angers me, but there was the situation with the young girl in Ohio. Now, I'm not going to tell you what my opinion is, but I'm going to tell you this. We need to have conversations. We need to understand why people feel a certain way. And we need to also figure out how we separate all the things that we're seeing and hearing and we're dealing with to understand how we get to solutions. How we come together as a community. How we come together with individuals who are dealing with the pain and the hurt and the anger and the frustration and the injustice that has occurred over time, right? We can't even have that conversation because we're afraid about speaking up about things that we feel are important sometimes because we're afraid of the backlash. We need to stop being afraid of the backlash because one person, if you feel a certain way, there are tens of thousands of others that are feeling the same way. And we have to start opening up that dialogue and we have to start opening up ourselves to have those conversations. And again, we cannot be the change we want to see in this world if we're not willing to open ourselves up to be that change ourselves. So with that said, we have to come from a place of love. And I know it's hard. I know it's difficult because of the hurt. Sometimes the hurt overcomes us and we are not willing to open ourselves up to the love aspect. But the only way we're going to be able to get through anything, it starts with love. Love of ourselves and love of others. Because if we don't love ourselves, we can't love nobody else. So we have to really sit down and come together as individuals, open up the dialogue, open up our hearts, our minds, sit down, have a conversation with individuals that you may not agree with. It's okay to have differing opinions. The question is, how are you willing to both work together to overcome? Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings in this world. And we're all trying to get somewhere, right? But we have to get to a place of love. And we got to start with that first. So with that said, I want those individuals who I have heard the cries from, who I've heard the anger, the frustration, we are living and breathing it every single day. in so many different circumstances in our personal lives and in our social atmosphere. We have to sit down and have open dialogue and conversation about what's going on and be real about it. Stop worrying about how people judge you, because at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. What matters is how we come together and overcome that and heal. So with that said, I want to thank you all for joining me this morning. If you are listening to me on replay, thank you. Hashtag replay on my live video. I am your girl, Ste Queen of Bling from the Sistership Network. Please follow us. We are live every Sunday from 2 to 3:30 p.m. on the Sistership radio show on YouTube. Follow us, like us. We talk about all type of topics and conversations and have dialogue about things that a lot of people don't want to talk about, don't want to have a conversation around. But we are all about overcoming and healing what is going on in this world, what is going on with ourselves. We have the brothership coming to the Sistership Network. They are going to be going live this Sunday from 2 to 3:30 p.m. They're going to bring their perspective from a man's perspective of what they're dealing with and what they're hearing and what they're seeing and how we can kind of work together collectively, because it is about unity. And, you know, we do need to come together. I mean, we really do. I know everybody talks about that, but we got to have action. We can't just be talking about it. We got to be about it. So with that said, I love y'all. Come from a place of love. Deep down inside, you have to look at yourself first. You, yourself, and I. Look in the mirror. Talk to yourself. Look at yourself. Understand where you're coming from first. Because again, you can't heal others if you can't heal yourself first. You cannot be that person of change if you're not willing to change yourself. It is all about integrity. It's all about you and being real with yourself first. So with that said, I love y'all. Please, please be safe out there. Be careful. Love one another. Stop hating. Let's stop this hate. Let's have open lines of communication, dialogue. There's so many people out there that are doing some crazy things because they are hurt, they're angry, they're frustrated, they're tired. They're tired. So with that said, I love y'all, each and every one of you. Bless you all. Have a great Tuesday. And I'll be seeing you guys on Sundays, 2 to 3:30 p.m. on the Sistership Network. Again, follow us on YouTube. Again, every Sunday. The brothership is this Sunday, but we'll be on every Sunday after that. Talk to you guys soon. Love y'all. Peace.